Oh god.
Are you ready for E3? Because E3 is gonna be this.
At least put it on properly, Sam.
I don't want to ruin my hair. Okay, this thing is the most horrendous thing
See
ever
that
to wear.
picture of that guy sitting on the plane and he didn't have a gas mask, so he had a like a pad on his face.
I saw someone walking around today just with a black one on, and I'm like,
a black thinger,
Yeah.
like
No.
like a Lin Kuei.
yeah, it's like a Lin Kuei one.
Nice.
I was like, holy
Guys,
shit, this is getting real.
Coronavirus, it's serious business. Before Australia was,
Sorry. Holy shit, guys.
did you see this Fox News in the interview with this guy who was released from quarantine?
No.
And while he was doing the interview, he was constantly like, and he had his daughter on his lap, and they were like sharing a drink bottle and stuff, and everyone was just like, dude, stop, guys, coronavirus is serious business, and today it turns out that it's just Shrek'd GDC. They've just announced that it's not happening. Let's talk about the detail after the drop.
So this all started to kind of unfold when Sony dropped out of GDC. That was only one. I was like,
It's actually,
okay.
their first dropout was PAX. They dropped out of PAX first.
Did they? Okay. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit strange. But that's just gonna be one. Don't worry about everyone else. Next minute, Activision Blizzard, Amazon, Microsoft, Unity, Square Enix,
Everyone.
Everyone
pulled out of GDC, and it was like, okay, cool, what's going on here? It was very clear that this event was in dire straits. We actually reported on it just this morning for Laymen Live,
Yes.
and we were like, guys, this is looking really bad. Jason Schreier tweeted out the other day, or yesterday, saying, I'm not going, and I'm expecting them to cancel the event very soon. When Activision Blizzard pulled out today, everyone was like, that's gotta be it, it's gotta be done. Everyone was very patiently waiting to hear from GDC about what they were gonna say. Here is the official statement they put out just a few hours ago.
Oh shit.
I know, right? It's happening. After close consultation with our partners in the game development industry and community around the world, we've made the difficult decision to postpone the Game Developers Conference this March. Having spent the past year preparing for the show with our advisory board, speakers, exhibitors, and event partners, we're genuinely upset and disappointed not to be able to host you this time. We want to thank all our customers and partners for their support, open discussions, and encouragement. As everyone has been reminding us, great things happen when the community comes together and connects to GDC. For this reason, we fully intend to host a GDC event later in the summer. We'll be working with our partners to finalize the details, and we'll share more information about our plans in the coming weeks.
Okay, so no date, some sort of rough season, you know. We've got a season there, but is this going to happen? I wonder. Now, I really was surprised it happened because when all these people were pulling out, GDC was still like, guys, we're still going ahead as planned.
Well,
and I felt
they
like...
didn't say that. They just didn't say they weren't going ahead.
No, they did. They did a few days ago. They came out and
they?
said that they were going ahead as planned. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And off the back of that, I thought, okay, there's no way then that they're going to actually now come out and say it's completely gone. When Activision Blizzard and Xbox pulled out, I really thought then they had to do this because they were going to do a complete disservice to anyone that was there.
Yeah.
Because it was going to be like, woo, hello, anyone there?
It'd be like the Mines of Moria, like that
Yes.
big ball thing.
It would be.
Except with less people in it. So basically, people have questions about refunds at this point. If you had a ticket to GDC, you will get a refund from the event organizers, which is really good. If you booked a hotel that's kind of attached to that,
Yep.
you won't be charged for that.
Yep.
But obviously, if you had already booked your flights and your hotel, and it wasn't booked through GDC or through their like package thing, then bad luck, man. Hopefully, you had travel insurance because you are getting stiffed on that bill. Real shame,
Yes.
but it's absolutely the right decision to cancel this event. Public safety comes first. The city of San Francisco, where it's being hosted, has declared an emergency on this matter, not because they have a massive outbreak, but because it helps them mobilize government services
Yep.
to move really quickly to, to sort of lock this down as much as possible. So it only makes sense that large gatherings like these are cancelled.
I really think that if GDC went ahead and there was like 3 stalls, it would have damaged them so badly
Yeah,
because
for
it
sure.
really would have showed that they were not willing to swallow the financial hit and do the right thing by the community.
But
you
they
know?
did. They pulled out
And
and,
they-
then they swallowed.
That is staying in. That is staying in. But it's very true though. If they went ahead with this, it would have taken a few years for them to
No,
recover.
I agree. And this is the
It
thing,
really
right?
would have.
The question now becomes: first of all, when's this second?
When is
event
it
gonna-
coming?
When's this second event going to happen in the summer? Now, if this continues to take a long, if this continues to play out and whatever else, then it's not going to happen anytime soon. My guess would be there'd be no GDC this year. I think
No.
coronavirus is going to roll on for a little bit longer.
The problem is because E3 is in the summer. It's like the big moment in summer. So how can they possibly then come out with a GDC a few weeks later or something?
Yeah, well, this is the other thing. This leads us to the big question about E3 and whether or not it will go ahead. Now, there's no information about this. No one has said anything. E3 is in June, so there's still a lot of time for this to roll through, but things could get a lot better. They could get a lot worse. We don't know at this point. One thing we do know is that the ESA is a scumbag organization,
Yeah.
and I don't have any faith in them to do the right thing. So I reckon that coronavirus could be the greatest thing since the Black Plague,
Yeah.
and the ESA will still be like, no, we're going to put it on. It's going to happen, guys.
That's
Just
so
make
true.
sure you come along.
That's so true. I didn't really think of that. The ESA has not had the greatest track record as of late. And
Ever.
let's be real. If there's 3 stalls and they're going to be like, fuck it, whatever, we
Yeah.
made our money, E3
they're
2020, what a banger.
We had,
that's going to be the situation.
ESA is like we had surprise mechanics,
Yes.
and now we've got surprise infections. It's just, it all fits. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's terrible to joke about it, but you know what? It's all good.
It's the ESA. We're allowed to laugh. At
It's all
them.
good. But you're very, very true. I think now this is officially on watch. This is the biggest, development conference in the world. It is going to be interesting to see if the biggest game conference is also shut down. I really don't. I put it as a 50-50 now.
Oh, for sure.
If
You
we
don't know.
see double the cases, or even if we see another 30% rise in cases in America alone, I reckon we're going to see that, because the fear factor I think is taking over more than the facts right now, and that's just the reality of it. There's not a huge amount of cases in America, right? But the bottom line is, there's a lot of companies wanting to set a safe precedent with
Absolutely.
making sure that they want to take care of their members of their business.
Well, all it would take
You know.
is, think about it from an economic perspective for a company. All it would take is one person in a Microsoft office of a few thousand people to get it, for that entire company to be shut down, or that entire office, I should say, to be shut down for potentially weeks.
Sure.
The loss in productivity would be gigantic. It makes sense for these companies to be very cautious and stay away because they don't want to get their workforces sick. I'm sure they also care about the well-being of their employees,
Of course.
but I'm sure that they also more care about the
Xbox One
actual
X.
their productivity.
Yeah. No,
So
you're
this
right.
also, by the way, there has been lots of conversations around what this could mean for the future of video game hardware production. We do have next-gen consoles coming this year. There's been much talk about whether or not those consoles are going to be delayed, or we're going to see extreme shortages of those, because the supply chain is utterly shattered right now. Most of
Yes.
it's based in China. Some specific component could be delayed by 2 months, and if you're missing that one component, you can't build these other 2 components, and that creates a delay there, and then that creates another delay there, etc. So no one's saying that we are definitely going to see delays on next-gen hardware, but no one's saying that we definitely aren't either. That is a possibility, that does exist, and we need to keep tracking
I
that.
think we're seeing that it's a bigger possibility as we go on now. I really think it will be a harder task now to meet that deadline with so many businesses and areas in the world being shut down or being affected by it in some way, shape, or form. I'll be very surprised now if we do in fact see a 2020 holiday release of both consoles.
Well,
But-
I think it'll happen, but as I said, I suspect more limited supply than what we thought.
Yes,
because I
potentially.
think they need to get it out for Christmas. They need that,
Yeah.
that buzz and that push and whatever else. But if you really want to buy it, and maybe put in a pre-order for, I know pre-order bad, I get that, but at the same time, it's like if you really want to make sure you don't miss out on it, it probably makes sense to do that.
Are they even doing
because-
pre-orders yet at
Oh, you'd be
GameStop?
able to do it at GameStop or whatever
Really?
else.
But guys, who knows what'll happen? Is E3 2020 going to happen? We'll have to cover it from here, and there'll be nothing to cover. It'll just be, we go live and we're like, cool, what's happening in games? Nothing. Everyone's not working, and there's no console,
Yeah,
everybody.
that's right. So that'll be a really great news cycle for us.
Anyway, what to say? Maybe we've been coughing a bit. Maybe we need to have a lockdown from each other. We'll have to see.
We're cancelling the Laymen. It's going on hiatus, guys.
Alright guys, I'll see you later. Young out!